Hi, my name is Sarah McIntyre, and I'm the writer and illustrator of Grumpycorn, and don't call me Grumpycorn. And I'm going to teach you how to draw Grumpycorn in a Christmas jumper. So all you need is a paper and pencil, possibly some pens, maybe even some paints if you want to add color. Feel free to pause the video at any time if you need extra time to draw. First, let's draw a line up from the bottom. So up to about 2/3 the way up the page, like that. Then we're going to do a little hook for the ear. There we go. And a straighter line coming there. And the horn. So a nice pointy horn. And then we're going to draw a straight line out that way for his nose. And a little hook at the end. Just so. And then bring this line around a little bit more and down. Make sure it's quite chunky so you have more room to draw the jumper. Okay, and then we're going to do the inside of his ear. So a line right here and another little line like that. Now we're going to cap off his horn, line there, and add some stripes. Nice unicorn stripes. And we're going to draw his eye, his big eye right here. And another eye right on here, and it goes off the side a little bit. It might even be bigger than the other eye because it makes him look a bit more silly, which is quite fun. And have him looking maybe to the side, whatever direction you like. Put 2 circles for the pupils and then color those in nice and dark. And 2 little nostrils. And then you can decide if you want a happy unicorn or a grumpy corn, like in the book, or a confused corn, whatever you like. Draw the mouth as you do. I'm going to do a little smile because he's going to like his Christmas jumper. And another line here for the top of the mane. So kind of curved line there. And then his other ear, a straight line, and bring that point to there. And then we're going to do a little bit more mane, so we're going to come out like it's going behind his ear. And it's kind of like flower petals. 1, 2, 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can do 4 or 5, whatever you like. Or you could even put big flowing mane. You decide. And then do the neck on the jumper. So a line like that, and another line just below it. And then some little stripes to make it look knitted. And then his arms. So we're going to have them, let's have him going up in the air because he's going, look at me in my jumper. So one arm going up like that, a second line, however wide his arm is going to be, and cap it off at the top. And then give him a hoof with the second line. And we're going to color this in dark, but leave a little stripe in the middle for, or sort of on the side as like a shiny mark. So there's a little bit of white there because it's got shiny hooves. And 2 more lines for the cuff of the jumper and add some stripe. And on the other side, same thing. Put an arm. You might have it going a different direction or the same as before. So two arms lines. Cap it off. Same as before. Add a hoof. Color it in, but leave a little shiny area. Add a cuff. 2 lines. And then stripes. Now it's your chance to design the jumper. What are you gonna put on it? You can add color, you can add stripes, all sorts of things. I'm going to put, I think, his friends on this jumper. He's gonna have pictures of his friends. So I'm gonna put, let's see, jellyfish in the middle because I really like jellyfish. She's so sweet. There's my jellyfish. And jellyfish is wearing a little Santa hat. But you can put snowflakes or anything you like in there. There's jellyfish. And narwhal. Could put narwhal. Very simplified versions of them. Because it's a Christmas jumper. And mermaid. Those are his best friends in the whole world, and they put up with him. I think my pen might be a bit wide for these. So I'll get a slightly narrower pen. There she is. And I think I'll put little stars, or they might be starfish because of the sea. They're all sea creatures. Wherever a star fits, just makes a nicer pattern. I think narwhal has overalls on in the book. Because, you know, narwhals always wear overalls. Any more stars? Yeah, I could fit a few more. One right here, maybe. And then I'm going to just add some more pattern. So, a line there. What else? Maybe there's Christmas puddings down below. So I could do Christmas pudding, Christmas pudding, Christmas pudding. There we go, lots of them. Here they are. They've all got their brandy sauce on top. And of course it has to have little raisins in them. Lots of currants. And maybe some little berries on top or something. And what else? They might have, oh, it might be a snowflake between each one. When in doubt on a jumper, just add snowflakes. That's what I think. And you can either keep adding pictures all the way down, or if you want to just do a pattern, you could do like this kind of hashed lines like that. That always fills the space really well. It looks kind of vaguely knitted. Here, let's do, don't forget the arms. So on the arms, I'm going to put stars, I think. That's just my husband rattling around in the background. There we go. Maybe some candy canes. He just had his work Christmas party, and I taught them how to draw this on Microsoft team meetings. That was quite funny. There's some candy canes. And maybe that hash design again, to sort of make it match the bottom bit. And then, of course, I'll do the same side. Oh, you don't have to. You could do different. The jumper arms might not match. So more candy canes. And pattern. Right, there's your basic shape. You might have some little things in his mane just to give it more texture. Little lines like that. And now we get to color it. So I'm going to have my paint. Here we go. There's water, and I've got some really messy paints here, watercolor paints. And one really cool trick I like doing is I get his nose all wet with some watercolor like that. Just the whole kind of area around his nose. It might bleed the black ink, but hopefully not. So get it really nice and wet. And then get some pink or red, diluted. And just give a little sort of tip into his nose. And it'll just kind of spread around very gently. So it looks kind of a little bit more subtle. But with his arms, he's got a little pink line here. And I'm not going to be so subtle with that. I'm just going to paint it like that and there. And same with the inside of his ears. I could be subtle, but I think I'll just paint them. Sometimes you have to help it a bit if it's not going the direction you want. There we go. Sometimes I even use a hairdryer. Inside of his ear, the one that's facing us. And of course his horn. So these are exact same paints I used to paint the book. least some books. I think I used inks on this book actually. There we go. It's a nice yellow horn. And he's got a rainbow mane. And the thing about the rainbow mane is, if I just paint it the colors of the rainbow, it kind of looks a bit dead. So I tend to paint it yellow for the red, yellow for the orange, yellow for the yellow, of course, and then yellow for the green, because they all have the color yellow in them, and it just makes them all a little bit brighter. And then I stop, because the colors below don't have yellow as much. So I'll paint the ones below. I'll paint them blue and purple. I don't think the Grumpycorn actually has purple in his mane because he has a purple jumper, but we can go purple because it's the rainbow. And your unicorn could be any color. It could have a wholly green mane if you like. So I get purple by mixing pink and blue because I don't have a purple paint. So that's pink and blue paint mixed. Oh, wait, don't forget, he's got some purple around his eyes too. It's kind of like eyeshadow. Makes him look a bit goofier. I like him. So I'm going to do a little purple there, a little purple there. Oops, hope it doesn't get in that water. It's starting to dry on his nose. Okay, now I'm going to paint the red. So it's going to go right in, and it just looks a bit brighter when it's on top of that yellow. Makes it a warmer red. And I'm going to paint the orange. I could just paint it red lightly, but I do actually have orange paint here. So there's the orange. And the green. And again, that yellow just makes it a little bit more vibrant. But if I put yellow under the purple, that would absolutely kill it because they're opposite colors. Purple and yellow, it would just make gray. It wouldn't be very nice. Now it's a Christmassy jumper, so I think I might give him red around the cuffs and stuff. That's a good base color to start with Christmas jumpers. So I'm going to color this. And I used a Pentel brush pen, which has permanent ink, so it doesn't smear when I paint on top of it. India ink won't either, but sometimes you have to hair dry it first to make sure it's really dry, or let it sit for a couple hours. Like you paint it you draw it in the evening and then paint it the next day if you haven't hair dried it, because sometimes inks can run quite badly. But that can also make some cool effects. There we go. And then I might add some more red stripes. Here's some red here. And here. And now you can go absolutely crazy doing all sorts of color in this jumper. You could put every color of the rainbow, or it could just be one color, or you might make a sort of very neutral color to kind of offset all the bright colors everywhere else. Like I'm just painting a kind of gentle brown here. So that sort of offsets the red brightness of the red. And there we go. And the or the Christmas puddings might be brown too, because they are in real life. And to get brown, I just mix like yellow and red and what else do I mix? Sometimes I just use brown paint. It just depends. You can get all the colors just from mixing, really. You only really need red, yellow, blue, and black. But sometimes I use like warm shade of red and cool shade of red. So I might have 6 colors to mix. Or I use all the paints. Just depends what look I'm going for. There you go, a bit more color there. And maybe I'll do a little bit more yellow here. Grumpycorn's getting very ungrumpy here because he loves his jumper. And I bet you could do an even cooler jumper. You can go really, really detailed, or you could just have one big picture in the middle, like a massive, I don't know, snowflake or reindeer, or maybe Grumpycorn has a Grumpycorn sweater because he's so into himself that he would quite like himself printed on a jumper. And then that one could have another jumper printed on it. It could be forever Grumpycorn jumper. Got more yellow here. And there we go. Now I could add a color for ages. But there you go. There's the basic idea. So I'd love to see your picture. If you tweet it, maybe use the hashtag Grumpycorn. And hope you have a happy Christmas.